Step back, boy. Officer Daniels' words slice through morning air like shattered glass. The black man freezes halfway up the courthouse steps, briefcase gripped tight. Daniels descends to block him, badge 4782 catching harsh light, hand on his taser. Side entrance, now. The man's jaw tightens. I'm exactly where I need to be. Daniels shoves him against marble. The briefcase hits stone. The echo carries. Security guard Williams freezes by the metal detector. Through courtroom 3's door, a gavel waits silent. Face the wall. Daniel's fingers dig into expensive fabric. The lobby falls silent. Phones appear, recording lights blinking red. Sarah Martinez emerges, her face draining of color. She knows who this is. The black man doesn't move toward the wall. Instead, he reaches slowly for his inner pocket. His voice carries like a verdict. Officer Daniels, badge 4782. In 30 seconds, you'll wish you'd checked today's docket. In 30 minutes, Internal Affairs will have your badge. In 30 days, this courthouse will have new protocols, with your name on them. Daniel's taser winds to life. The man's hand emerges, holding something that catches morning light. Want more touching stories that expose injustice and inspire change? These real-life stories reveal how ordinary moments become extraordinary stands for justice. Subscribe for more Black stories that matter. Sarah Martinez fumbles with case files, watching through the security office window as 3 more officers converge on the marble steps. She recognizes the pattern. Daniels has done this before, always with Black professionals, always claiming suspicious behavior. Her hands shake as she texts her supervisor, "It's happening again." The morning routine fractures. Attorney Marcus Thompson raises his phone, recording as Officer Daniels forces the man to his knees. Badge number 4782, I'll remember that. The man's voice stays controlled, even as marble bites through his suit pants. The Wilson case starts in 5 minutes. Daniels laughs. Not your concern anymore. The hallway fills with the buzz of fluorescent lights mixing with whispered conversations. Leather briefcases click shut as lawyers pause their morning rush, drawn to the escalating scene. Marcus keeps his phone steady, catching every second. He's seen this before, last week with Dr. Harrison, last month with Professor Banks. Always Daniels, always the same aggressive screening. This is being live-streamed, Marcus announces loudly. Already 1,000 viewers and climbing. Daniels doesn't flinch. Good. Let them see what happens when people don't comply. The man on his knees speaks clearly, each word measured. Officer Daniels, I'm asking you one more time to check your list. The officer's response comes with increased pressure, forcing the man's head lower. I don't need a list to spot trouble. Morning Sun catches the badge number again, -4782. Like a brand burning into collective memory. 3 backup officers arrive, hands on weapons, forming a semicircle. The eldest, Officer Bryant, hesitates. Something about the kneeling man seems familiar. Thomas Wright stops mopping, his bucket forgotten. That face, he's seen it before, not in the defendant's chair, but somewhere more important. His mind races through memories of courthouse hierarchy. The realization hits like cold water. He drops his mop with a clatter that echoes off marble. Sweet Jesus, he whispers, but no one hears him over the growing crowd. Sarah Martinez emerges from the clerk's office, files scattered in her rush. She sees the man on his knees, and her face drains of color. The Wilson case. She prepared the docket herself. Chief Judge Mitchell presiding. The man currently being humiliated on marble steps. The pieces connect with horrible clarity. Officer, stop! Her voice cracks. You don't understand who... Daniels cuts her off with a raised hand. Ma'am, step back. This is a security matter. The man's wallet lies open on the floor, judicial identification visible to anyone who looks closely. But Daniels kicks it aside, focused only on establishing dominance. When I tell you to move, you move. When I tell you to kneel, you kneel. The growing crowd includes Diana Foster, a businesswoman waiting for her lawsuit hearing. She live streams from another angle, 10,000 viewers now. Comments flood in. This is America. Same courthouse, same cop. When does it end? The man speaks once more, voice carrying despite his position. The Wilson case involves police accountability. Ironic, wouldn't you say? Daniel's face reddens. His hand moves from taser to baton. Bailiff Jenkins finally arrives, out of breath from running 3 flights. He sees the scene and freezes. That profile, that voice recognition dawns with horror. Diana Foster's phone captures everything in vertical video, the modern document of injustice. Her followers spike from 500 to 15,000 as Officer Daniels raises his hand. You need to learn respect for authority. The slap echoes off marble walls like a gunshot. 30 witnesses gasp collectively, the sound rippling through the courthouse lobby. Diana's hand shakes but keeps recording. Oh my God, he just hit him. Everyone saw it. Everyone. The man's head snaps sideways from impact, but he doesn't fall. Blood appears at the corner of his mouth, a single drop landing on white marble. He turns back slowly, deliberately, meeting Daniel's eyes. Every second of this is being recorded. Every angle, every witness. His calm infuriates Daniels more than resistance would. The officer grabs the man's collar, hauling him upright. I don't care who's watching. This is about maintaining order. Rachel Green pulls her 8-year-old daughter behind her, shielding young eyes from violence that shouldn't exist in halls of justice. But her daughter peeks around, asking the question that cuts deepest. Mommy, why is the policeman hurting that man? Rachel has no answer that preserves innocence. The crowd swells lawyers, defendants, families, all witnessing the same abuse of power. Attorney Marcus Thompson pushes forward. Officer, this is assault. I'm an attorney and I'm formally documenting this violation. Daniel spins toward him. Back up or you're next. Marcus holds his ground, phone steady. Touch me and it's another felony. The tension crackles like electricity before a storm. More phones appear, everyone recording, creating an inescapable web of evidence. The live stream counter hits 30,000. Comments pour in faster than anyone can read. Bailiff Jenkins finally finds his voice, stepping between Daniels and the bleeding man. Dan, stop. Just stop. His voice carries desperation. You don't know what you've done. Daniels laughs, bitter and dismissive. I've done my job. Unlike you, Jenkins. The bailiff's face pales further. He leans close, whispering urgently, but Daniels pushes him aside. I don't care if he's the Pope. In my courthouse, everyone follows rules. Lisa Brooks texts her newsroom frantically. Courthouse! Now, bring everyone. She recognizes the bleeding man, despite the chaos. She covered his appointment ceremony 6 months ago. Chief Judge William Mitchell, the first black chief judge in the circuit's history, currently being brutalized by court security. Her editor responds immediately, going live in 2 minutes. The crowd's energy shifts from shock to anger. Someone shouts, "This is wrong!" Another voice, "We're witnesses!" The collective witnessing becomes its own force, pressing against institutional violence. Diana Foster narrates for her live stream, "This is happening right now. Main courthouse. Everyone needs to see this." The man, still unidentified to most, wipes blood from his mouth with dignity intact. Officer Daniels, badge 4782. You've made your choice. Now comes consequence. Court Administrator Patricia Hayes bursts through the security door, having run from her 3rd-floor office. She sees the scene, the blood, the phones. Officer Daniels still gripping the man's collar and screams with recognition that shatters remaining ignorance. That's Chief Judge Mitchell! You just assaulted Chief Judge Mitchell! The collective gasp from 40 witnesses creates a moment of absolute silence. Even live stream chats pause. Daniels's grip loosens as color drains from his face. The gavel in Judge Mitchell's hand, pulled from his briefcase, catches morning light like a symbol of justice about to strike back. Detective Maria Rodriguez arrives 20 minutes after the incident, finding the courthouse in controlled chaos. She sets up in Conference Room B, digital recorder ready, as witnesses line up to give statements. First is Diana Foster, whose live stream has hit 2 million views. "I saw everything, Detective." The judge was calm, compliant even. Officer Daniels escalated without provocation. Rodriguez takes notes, knowing this case will define careers or end them. Judge Mitchell sits in his chambers, ice pack against his jaw, refusing medical attention until he's given his statement. "This isn't about me, Detective Rodriguez. It's about everyone who couldn't fight back, who didn't have cameras recording, who weren't chief judges." His assistant brings the morning's docket 43 cases, including 3 police misconduct hearings. The irony isn't lost on anyone. Mitchell insists on presiding after giving his statement. Justice doesn't stop for bruised egos, mine or theirs. The emergency judicial conference convenes within an hour. 12 judges gather in the secure conference room, their faces grave. Judge Sandra Chen, the senior circuit judge, calls for immediate preservation of all evidence. Every camera, every phone, every angle. Nothing gets deleted. Nothing gets lost. The IT department locks down the courthouse server, backing up security footage to federal systems. They know how evidence disappears when police investigate themselves. Officers cluster in the parking garage, voices low, but tense. "Daniels fucked us all," one mutters. Another responds, "He was just doing what we're trained to do." A third officer, younger, questions, "Trained to assault judges?" The silence that follows speaks volumes. They know the training videos exist, know the unofficial protocols, know how deep this goes. Officer Kim, standing apart, makes a decision that will change everything. She walks back inside, toward internal affairs. Media vans arrive like cavalry, satellite dishes blooming on their roofs. Channel 4, Channel 7, CNN, everyone wants the story. Lisa Brooks goes live from the courthouse steps. A shocking incident this morning raises questions about security protocols and racial profiling in our justice system. Judge Mitchell's dignity under assault plays on loop, each replay adding viewers, adding outrage, adding pressure for real change. The police union representative, Arthur Banks, arrives in an expensive suit and cheaper morals. His statement to media drips with tactical deflection. Officer Daniels followed standard procedures for dealing with suspicious individuals who refuse to comply with security protocols. The live stream comments explode. Suspicious of what? Being black? Standard procedure is assault? Banks doesn't see the trap he's walking into, doesn't know about the basement archives, the buried complaints, the pattern about to surface. An anonymous note slides under Detective Rodriguez's door. "Check the basement files. Room B12, before they disappear." She photographs the note, texts her partner, and heads downstairs immediately. The basement smells of mold and forgotten justice. File boxes stacked to the ceiling, each one a buried complaint, a silenced voice. She pulls the first box. Excessive force complaints, Officer Daniels, 2019 to 2024. 47 complaints, all involving black professionals, all marked resolved internally with the same signature, Captain James Morrison. Judge Mitchell receives a different note, slipped under his chamber's door. "Drop this, or judges won't be the only targets." He reads it once, photographs it, then walks it personally to the FBI field office 3 blocks away. Special Agent Sarah Kim takes the threat seriously. "Judge, this is now a federal matter. The transition from local to federal investigation happens in hours, not days. Officer Daniels' suspension comes with pay for now, but everyone knows that's about to change." The courthouse marble steps, where dignity was challenged, become a crime scene taped off for evidence collection. Janet Powell has managed courthouse archives for 23 years, watching files disappear and reappear according to political winds. When Detective Rodriguez shows her the federal warrant, Janet doesn't hesitate. "I've been waiting for someone to ask." She leads them to a locked section, unused for years. Dust particles dance in harsh fluorescent light as she opens box after box. "Every complaint against courthouse security. I kept copies when they ordered me to destroy originals." 47 complaints against Officer Daniels alone. Patterns emerged like constellations of abuse. All victims were professionals, all black, all resolved without investigation. The files tell stories in bureaucratic language that sanitizes violence. Subject became non-compliant during routine screening. Translation, forced to knees for asking questions. Officer established control through approved techniques. Translation, physical assault without consequence. Each file has the same signature chain. Officer Daniels, Sergeant Blake, Captain Morrison, Chief Thompson. A clear line of command protecting systematic abuse. Janet points to dates. Notice how complaints spike during high-profile civil rights cases? It's not coincidence. Officer Kim Thompson sits in a secure federal location, her decision to testify costing everything: career, friendships, safety. The training videos, she begins, voice steady despite shaking hands. They don't call it racial profiling. They call it preemptive threat assessment. We're taught to see professional black people as potential problems. They think they're above the law, the instructor says. Show them they're not. She provides USB drives, recorded conversations, training manuals that never appeared in official documentation. The FBI agents exchange glances. This is bigger than one courthouse. Margaret Banks clutches a photo of her deceased son, Marcus Banks, a young prosecutor who filed a complaint against Daniels 3 years ago. My son was found dead 2 weeks after his complaint. They said suicide, but Marcus was fighting for justice, not giving up on life. She produces documents her son hid, recordings of threats, photos of vandalized cars, a pattern of retaliation against anyone who challenged courthouse security. That judge today could have been my son, if my son had lived long enough to become a judge. The discovery process reveals budget allocations hiding settlement payments, $3 million over 5 years paid to silence victims, categorized as administrative expenses. County Commissioner Harold Peterson's signature appears on every approval. His son, Officer Brett Peterson, works under Daniels. The web of protection extends from street-level harassment to political cover. Administrator Patricia Hayes testifies, I tried to report the patterns. They transferred me to traffic court, said I was creating problems where none existed. Marcus Chen discovers something IT shouldn't find, a parallel server hidden in subnet configurations, backing up deleted security footage. Someone wanted insurance, he tells federal agents. Every lost recording is here. The footage spans years. Officer Daniels forcing a black doctor to ground. Daniels pushing a black attorney downstairs. Daniels' partner laughing as they make a professor crawl. Each incident reported, investigated, dismissed. But someone saved everything, waiting for this moment. Sheriff Michael Connor's involvement becomes undeniable when Chen recovers deleted emails. Make sure our people understand their role. Judges are temporary. We're permanent. Act accordingly. Another email. Daniels is doing God's work. Keep the animals in line. The language escalates in private communications, revealing beliefs that uniforms supposedly civilize. Federal prosecutors build RICO predicates. This isn't misconduct. It's organized crime using badges as weapons. James Wilson breaks 40 years of silence. His son, Robert Wilson, filed a complaint in 1994. They said my boy was resisting arrest. He was walking into court for a traffic ticket. Walking while black was his only crime. James produces a box from his janitorial closet, every incident he witnessed, documented in pencil on napkins, backs of receipts, anywhere he could write without being noticed. I'm 78 years old. What they gonna do to me now that matters? His makeshift archive corroborates every pattern, extends the timeline back decades. Cry scene. My son would be 54 today, maybe a judge himself, but Officer Daniels' predecessor made sure that didn't happen. The evidence mountain grows. Training videos surface showing Chief Thompson personally demonstrating compliance techniques exclusively on black mannequins. Budget documents reveal a security excellence program that rewards officers for maintaining courthouse atmosphere code for keeping minorities feeling unwelcome. The county commissioner's office funded special training sessions titled Urban Threat Recognition and Maintaining Traditional Values. Each euphemism peels back to reveal naked racism dressed in procedure. Discovery of the Blue Wall meeting recordings proves conspiracy. Monthly gatherings where officers discussed problem people and attitude adjustments needed. Judge Mitchell's name appears 3 months ago. New chief judge thinks he runs things. Someone needs reminding. The someone became Officer Daniels. The reminder became assault. The plan backfired spectacularly. Federal investigators map connections between courthouse security, sheriff's department, and county administration. It's not bad apples, it's a rotten orchard with poisoned roots. Each revelation adds charges. Civil rights violations, conspiracy, racketeering, obstruction of justice. The systematic nature transforms individual assault into pattern requiring systemic response. The question shifts from, will Daniels be punished, to, how many will fall with him? The hidden server reveals itself through a configuration error that Marcus Chen calls intentionally accidental. Someone wanted this found, eventually, when the time was right. The encryption breaks after 18 hours of federal computing power, revealing 10 years of deliberately preserved evidence. This is our smoking gun, lead prosecutor Angela Davis announces to her team. No denying it now. The first video loads. Officer Daniels in the training room, teaching new recruits. Sometimes you have to remind them who runs this place. Judges think they're untouchable, but a little attitude adjustment keeps them humble. He demonstrates on a recruit playing a non-compliant subject. The technique matches exactly what he did to Judge Mitchell. Premeditated, trained, systematic. Sarah Kim isolates audio from 3 years ago, Sheriff Connor and Police Chief Thompson discussing the judge problem. Thompson's voice carries clear, "These black judges think their robes mean something. We need to remind them the courthouse runs on our rules, not theirs." Connor responds, "Daniels is perfect for this. He understands the natural order. The natural order meant racial hierarchy. The understanding meant violence. Financial forensics reveal parallel books. Official budgets show standard operations. Shadow accounting tracks, special activities, payments to officers for exceptional service after complaints get buried. Officer Daniels received $40,000 in bonuses over 5 years, each payment within days of a buried complaint. It's not just assault, it's paid terrorism. The money trail leads to county slush funds controlled by Commissioner Peterson, funded by civil asset forfeiture from minority communities. They use seized money from victims to pay for victimizing others. David Park discovers the most damaging evidence while scrubbing metadata. The courthouse security feed from this morning shows Police Chief Thompson watching live from his office as Daniels assaults Judge Mitchell. Thompson's computer logs show he opened the feed 1 minute before the confrontation. He knew it would happen. Worse, he screen recorded it, saving it to a folder labeled Wins. The assault wasn't just condoned, it was entertainment for leadership. The server contains audio from Sheriff Connor's office, accidentally recorded by his own security system during a private meeting. If that judge thinks he can hold cops accountable in his courtroom, we'll hold him accountable in ours. The courthouse steps are our courtroom. The date: 1 week before Judge Mitchell's assault. Conspiracy proven. Premeditation established. Federal charges guaranteed. More videos surface. A greatest hits collection of abuse. Officer Daniels features in 12 clips. His partners in 8 more. Every incident follows the same pattern. Black professional enters courthouse, gets challenged, forced to submit, humiliated for asserting rights. The videos were trophies, shared in group chats titled Maintaining Standards and Real Justice. Officers competed for who could break the most arrogant subjects. Email chains reveal the final piece. Commissioner Peterson personally ordered increased screening after Judge Mitchell's appointment. We can't have them thinking they own the place. Make sure our people understand badges outlast benches. The email went to 50 recipients, all law enforcement, all white, all complicit. The response thread contains agreement, encouragement, and specific targets. Judge Mitchell topped the list. The smoking gun becomes an arsenal, every piece of evidence preserved by someone with conscience, waiting for the right moment. That moment came when Officer Daniels's hand met Judge Mitchell's face. The slap heard around the world triggered an avalanche of proof that can't be stopped, can't be buried, can't be denied. Federal prosecutors prepare indictments. The number of defendants grows from 1 to 37. The charges escalate from assault to racketeering. The investigation expands from one courthouse to 3 counties. The federal courthouse overflows for the emergency hearing. 200 people pack the gallery. Thousands more watch live streams. Judge Patricia Williams, brought from another circuit to ensure impartiality, presides. The prosecution table holds 4 federal attorneys. The defense table holds 17 lawyers representing 37 defendants. Chief Judge Mitchell sits in the gallery's front row, his bruised face visible to all. Federal Prosecutor Angela Davis rises. Your Honor, we present video evidence of systematic civil rights violations spanning a decade. The first video plays on courtroom screens. Collective gasp. 200 voices inhale simultaneously as Officer Daniels demonstrates compliance techniques that mirror exactly his assault on Judge Mitchell. The second video shows Sheriff Connor planning the attack. The third reveals Chief Thompson watching live, recording for pleasure. Each revelation builds until the gallery buzzes with barely contained outrage. Thomas Jackson, a retired teacher, watches Officer Daniels on the witness stand. The same man who forced his nephew to crawl 2 years ago now sits sweating under federal questioning. Officer Daniels, is this you in the training video? Daniels nods. Is this you saying, make them kneel? Another nod. Is this you striking Chief Judge Mitchell? The nod becomes a watershed moment admission under oath, witnessed by hundreds. Officer Daniels breaks on the stand. I was following orders. The chief said to send a message. Prosecutor Davis pounces. Which chief? Daniels looks at Chief Thompson. Him. He watched. He ordered it. He's ordered dozens of these. Public reversal. The enforcer becomes witness, pointing at command structure. They called it maintaining standards. Said black professionals were getting too comfortable, forgetting their place. Kim Thompson watches her former colleagues turn on each other. Officer Bryant testifies next, confirming Daniels's account. Then Sergeant Blake trying to save himself by revealing more. The blue wall crumbles brick by brick, each officer trying to avoid decades in federal prison. She feels no satisfaction, only relief, that finally truth overwhelms solidarity. Chief Thompson takes the stand, arrogant despite mounting evidence. I was protecting courthouse security. These people come in thinking they own the place. Prosecutor Davis plays his own words back. Badges outlast benches. Thompson tries to explain, contextualize, justify. Each word digs deeper holes. The gallery's anger becomes palpable, controlled only by federal marshals and respect for proceedings. Sheriff Connor refuses to testify, invoking the Fifth Amendment 37 times. Commissioner Peterson's attorney argues for dismissal, claiming political immunity. Judge Williams denies every motion with increasing disgust. No one is above the law. That's not just a phrase, it's the foundation of justice. The gavel strikes with authority that echoes through the courthouse, through live streams, through a nation watching justice actually work. Chief Judge Mitchell takes the stand last. His testimony isn't about his assault. It's about system failure. Every person forced to kneel, every professional humiliated, every complaint buried, they all led to that moment on the marble steps. When you assault justice, justice must respond. He holds the gavel, the same one from his briefcase. This represents authority earned through law, not force. Today, law strikes back. The federal attorney announces additional charges. This is now a RICO investigation. The courthouse security operated as a criminal enterprise, using official positions to deprive citizens of civil rights. The charge elevates everything. Simple assault becomes racketeering. Individual crimes become conspiracy. Local corruption becomes federal case study. Judge Williams rules from the bench. Probable cause established for all charges. Defendants will be held pending trial. 37 defendants processed in one afternoon. Badge numbers entered as evidence, 4, 7, 8, 2, and 3 dozen others. The marble steps, where Judge Mitchell was forced to kneel, become symbol of system finally kneeling to justice. The gallery erupts in applause despite bailiffs' attempts at order. Democracy, messy and loud, overwhelms authoritarianism's forced silence. Federal oversight arrives like dawn after nightmare. The consent decree spans 200 pages, transforming every aspect of courthouse security and police operations. Dr. Angela Washington, the new police chief, stands at the podium for her first press conference. The old way is dead. We serve the community all of it. That starts with acknowledging our failures and committing to redemption through action, not words. Maria Santos sits in the packed community center, one of 500 residents attending the first public oversight meeting. She watches former victims testify, their voices finally heard without fear. The new Community Oversight Board includes 3 formerly targeted professionals, 2 civil rights attorneys, and 5 community members. Real power, not ceremonial positions. They'll review every complaint, access any record, interview any officer. The board's first vote: mandatory federal retraining for all officers, no exceptions. The retraining isn't sensitivity theater. Federal instructors dismantle the old curriculum, replacing warrior mentality with guardian principles. Officers learn de-escalation, implicit bias recognition, constitutional law they should have known. Those who resist are terminated. 17 officers resign rather than complete training. Good riddance, the community says. The department's better without them. Officer Daniel Bryant, who participated in the original incident, sits through his 40th hour of federal retraining. The instructor, a black former police chief from New Jersey, doesn't mince words. You were trained wrong, trained to see citizens as enemies, especially black citizens. That ends now. Bryant wrestles with 20 years of indoctrination crumbling. His old certainties collapse. Maybe that's necessary for rebuilding. Body cameras become mandatory. No exceptions. The footage streams to federal servers, reviewed by civilian oversight. Officers can't turn them off, can't delete, can't edit. Transparency becomes policy, not promise. The first week reveals 17 minor violations that would have been buried before. Each one addressed, documented, corrected. Sunlight disinfects slowly but surely. Mental health responders join police units. Social workers answer welfare checks. Mediators handle disputes. Armed response becomes last resort, not first instinct. The budget shifts money from military equipment redirected to community programs. Commissioner Peterson's replacement doctor, Jasmine Williams, explains, "We're investing in prevention, not punishment." Jamal Williams represents the new generation of officers. Born in the community he'll serve, trained in the Reformed Academy, mentored by officers who chose change over resignation. His first day includes meeting Judge Mitchell. "Remember," the judge tells him, "the badge is a privilege, not a power. Serve with humility." Jamal nods, understanding weight his predecessors ignored. The accountability dashboard goes live, showing real-time statistics. Complaints by race, response times by neighborhood, use of force incidents mapped and analyzed. The data reveals what everyone knew but couldn't prove: selective enforcement, biased policing, systematic discrimination. Now it's public, updated daily, impossible to hide. Transparency becomes revolution. Judge Mitchell leads the Federal Reform Commission, traveling to other jurisdictions, spreading the model. Change isn't choice anymore. It's survival for legitimate policing. His bruised face, healing but still visible, becomes symbol of both violence and victory. Cities request consultation, police departments seek guidance. The Marble Steps incident catalyzes national reckoning. Officer Daniels, awaiting federal trial, sends a letter from detention. "I see it now. I was the criminal, wearing a badge. I'm sorry." The apology rings hollow for some, genuine for others. Either way, it's public record. His former colleagues face similar reckonings. Some fight, some flee, some finally reflect. The system that created them dismantles, replaced by something aspiring to actual justice. The federal monitoring will last 5 years minimum. Success metrics include community trust surveys, complaint reductions, use of force statistics, and recruitment diversity. Early indicators show progress: 30% reduction in complaints after 3 months, 50% increase in community cooperation, 40% more diverse recruit classes. Numbers tell stories of transformation. The courthouse marble steps, once site of humiliation, now hosts the weekly Justice for All community meetings. The symbolism isn't subtle. It doesn't need to be. The courthouse lawn hosts its first unity picnic. Children play where protests raged months ago. Officer Jamal Williams flips burgers alongside former protesters. The smell of barbecue replaces tear gas memories. Sarah Martinez, the court clerk who first recognized Judge Mitchell, organizes activities. "Healing happens in small moments," she tells a reporter. "This is how we rebuild one conversation, one burger, one smile at a time." Officer Daniels' public apology comes at the Community Reconciliation Forum. He stands before 50 victims of his abuse, voice breaking. "I was wrong. Trained wrong, thought wrong, acted wrong. I can't undo harm, but I can witness truth. You deserved dignity I denied." Some victims accept his apology, others don't. Both responses are valid. Healing isn't uniform or mandatory. Destiny Johnson, 16, attends the new Youth Justice Academy. Judge Mitchell teaches constitutional law every Thursday. "Your generation will fix what mine couldn't," he tells them. Destiny raises her hand. How do we avoid becoming like them? Mitchell's answer: by remembering everyone deserves dignity until they prove otherwise, and even then, justice isn't vengeance. Former Officer Kim Thompson now trains new recruits in ethical policing. Her whistleblowing cost her friends but gained her purpose. "I teach what not to become, what I almost was, what too many still are." Her classes include victims' testimonies, forcing recruits to see consequences of abuse. No one graduates without understanding. Badges aren't shields from accountability. Daniel Bryant patrols differently now. He knows residents' names, their stories, their struggles. Mrs. Washington thanks him for checking on her grandson. Mr. Chen waves from his store. The same streets, different relationships. "I was an occupier before," he admits to his partner. "Now I'm trying to be a neighbor." The transition isn't complete or comfortable, but it's happening. The memorial garden grows where Judge Mitchell was forced to kneel. Each plant represents a complaint finally acknowledged. 47 plants so far, with space for more as historical cases surface. Families tend their sections, creating beauty from pain. The marble steps, polished by maintenance but stained by memory, remind everyone dignity defended here. Judge Mitchell's weekly community walks draw hundreds. He listens more than talks, learning what justice means beyond courtrooms. Children who once feared uniforms now approach officers. Not all officers' trust isn't rebuilt overnight, but some. It's progress. Former victims become advisors, their expertise in survival now valued. The system that silenced them now requires their voices. Cross-cultural training succeeds through storytelling, not statistics. Officers hear immigrants' journeys, understand refugees' trauma, recognize poverty's complexity. The training works because it humanizes. Badge numbers matter less when you know names. Authority softens when you see similarity. The courthouse becomes community center, hosting legal clinics, youth programs, citizenship classes. Justice becomes service, not sentence. 1 year later, morning sun warms the courthouse steps where Chief Judge Mitchell stands for the anniversary ceremony. The marble gleams, but memories remain. "Every stone holds a story," he tells the crowd of thousands. Stories of humiliation transformed into humanity, violence transformed into vigilance, silence transformed into voice. Dr. James Patterson leads a delegation from Chicago, studying the reform model. "What happened here can happen everywhere," he notes. "Not the violence, We have enough of that. The accountability, the change, the proof that systems can transform when communities demand it. 20 cities have already implemented similar oversight. 30 more are planning. Change spreads like sunrise inevitable once started. Statistics tell stories. 73% reduction in excessive force complaints. 90% community approval rating for reform department. 0 cases of evidence destruction. Numbers can't capture everything. The mother who no longer fears her son's traffic stops, the lawyer who enters court without harassment, the dignity restored to daily interactions. But they indicate direction. Forward. Finally. Judge Mitchell passes the ceremonial gavel to Destiny Johnson, representing the next generation. This gavel isn't just mine or yours. It belongs to everyone who speaks truth to power, who records injustice, who refuses silence. She holds it carefully. Understanding its weight extends beyond wood and tradition. The marble steps, now designated steps of change, bear a plaque. Where dignity was challenged, dignity prevailed. The final frame. Hundreds gathering where one man knelt. Officer Daniels, serving federal time, watches from prison, his letter of reflection posted online. Chief Thompson, convicted of racketeering, teaches literacy to fellow inmates, forced redemption, but redemption nonetheless. The system that protected them now rebuilds without them. Better late than never. Better something than nothing. Better justice than just us.